Okay. You ready?
Ready.
Hello, and welcome to the first ever ExtraCasual podcast episode with your two amazing hosts, Ashton and Gavin.
Hello.
And we're just gonna fucking jump right to the first topic because I don't know how to transition this at all. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is Nintendo and the Wii U shutting down their eShops.
Man,
Fuck.
I have
messed it up already.
It's alright. It's our first time. I think if we even have any listeners, they'll understand. Man, anyway, I have so many good memories of like playing my 3DS and getting games off of the eShop. I remember this one game called like SteamWorld Dig, where you play as like a guy in a steam powered mech or something like that, and you like literally just dig like through like a set world. Such a cool game.
Do you remember like all the really bad ports? Like they had the Terraria port on the 3DS.
Dude, I remember seeing that. I remember some of my bus a while ago played Terraria on their 3DS. We joked that it was his big boy phone because how big the 3DS was.
Dude, the pretty sure is the 3DS XL that just looks like an iPhone 4 or 5. Like it's so huge.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty big.
Decently large.
Yeah.
But the eShop shut down late March, so sadly it is officially dead.
Rest in pieces.
I think the way that it works is you're not allowed to make any transactions or put in any codes, so the shop basically is just completely dead.
Yep, absolutely kaput.
It's destroyed. I saw a video, so there's this guy, his name is The Completionist. I saw a video where he bought every single 3DS game, and according to the thumbnail, because I don't want to watch through the whole thing again because it's 20 minutes, according to the thumbnail, he's holding the DS and there's a price on the DS, and it's $13,000 for every single game.
And
like,
I'm
what is he going to even do?
I don't know.
All those.
Just says he has them.
That is true.
Yeah,
he also bought all the ones for the Wii U.
Yeah, I'm watching your screen right now, and it says that he spent $9,673. Man,
I also looked up something. Fuck, let me pull it up.
Yeah, that's some serious dedication.
Yeah. I wonder if he made that back with like ads on the video though.
I mean, probably not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how YouTube ads are right now.
Yeah, I don't know how YouTube ads are at all, so, you know, hindsight's 50-50.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not even sure that phrase really applies to this situation, but I don't know.
Well, the DS did have two screens. 50-50.
That's true. I mean, I get the term is actually 2020, but I say 50-50 because, 50% chance you were right, 50% you were wrong. And it just makes more sense in my mind.
Yeah, so I looked at the amount of calculations for each system to buy all the games. So I think it's 1.2 terabytes for all the Wii U games in storage. And it's 267 for all the 3DS games.
Yeah, well, it makes sense for the 3DS games because those are like 1 megabyte for an entire game mostly.
Yeah, like the highest ones are usually like 3 at most.
Yeah. Even then, the little SD card they give you with it only houses like 10 megabytes.
So then you gotta get like a fat SD card for it.
Yeah.
What was your favorite 3DS game?
Dude, it had to be Smash 4. Alright, I don't think you... I think, fuck. You told me that you didn't play that one, right? Smash 4?
I played it like way after it was out of popularity.
Yeah, well, I played it when it's pretty much still in popularity, but never had anyone to play it with, really. There's this game mode called Smash Run, where you would go through like a giant maze of an area, and there'd be like in-game events that like enhance certain things. Like you can also enhance like your abilities, like your running speed, your basic attacks, your like special attacks, your shield, your jump height, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can get like treasures, like trophies, stuff like that. And at the very end of it, there's like a random challenge. Like I remember my favorite one was like Race to the End, because I'd always like stack myself up on speed upgrades. Man, yeah. I remember I really liked playing Cloud for the, but I think my main was Sonic, because that's still during my phase where I was like a huge Sonic fanboy. And then after that, it just completely died for me. I don't think I could ever go back to a Sonic game ever.
One of my favorites is probably I don't know what generation it was, but it's Pokemon X and Y, or Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
I think that was Gen 6.
Do you want to know a fun fact about Mega Evolution?
Really? Oh yeah.
There's a there's a oh well. There's like notes for each like Mega Evolution, you know, like the descriptions about the Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokédex entries.
Mm-hmm. And most of the like Mega Evolutions are like
they are in terrible
like,
pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
They're just in like excruciating pain. Like one of them's like his jaw was ripped like open so he can no longer close, which makes him extremely agitated.
Yeah, that's Glalie. I think there's 2 other ones that if they stay in their mega form too long, they literally start melting.
Mm-hmm. And then there was the Sableye one.
Mm. Yeah.
I think that one was like the gem like grew too big.
Yeah.
And like just popped out of him.
Steelix, like apparently is probably something similar, where his gem core like started like breaking out of his like steel skin because it's like rapidly growing or whatever. And of course there's Mega Rayquaza, who actually does he even have a Pokédex entry for his Mega Form? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm just gonna pull it up and check right now.
Listen, all I know is that he was the most broken thing ever until Sword and Shield screwed up the meta.
Oh god. I stopped playing the games after the 3DS ones.
Yeah. I still haven't played Sun.
I haven't either. Yeah. I played the demo though, and I got the Ash Greninja.
Cool.
Which I don't even think it... I think there's like one special ability for it, and then the rest is just normal.
Yeah. Man, I still remember my team for Alpha Sapphire. Like, my current team. It was Swampert, Superior, Rayquaza, Kyogre, Crobat, and...
There's always the forgettable one.
Nah, I'm just totally blanking out. Well, yeah, and Metagross.
Sounds like a pretty solid team.
Yeah, especially because, you know, most broken Pokemon for the time is in my team.
Which one was that?
Rayquaza. Rayquaza on the tournament level was banned from Uber tier, which is the highest tier.
What is that? Just like A, S, Uber?
Yeah, it was like A, S, like broken, like banned, broken, and then Uber. And then Rayquaza was so high that it didn't fit into any of those.
Just broke the ranking.
Yeah. Jab Dragon. I think Rayquaza is definitely my favorite legendary because he's a dragon that just doesn't give a shit.
Yep.
Like in the movie that he was starred in, he literally caused mass casualties because people were screwing with him or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And he has like beef with every single legendary.
Well, not really. Like his whole thing is like he protects the heavens and the earth only because he really needs just a place to live. And that's why he has like a massive beef with Deoxys, because he threatens the world he lives in.
Yeah. Do you remember your favorite Pokemon movie?
I've only ever really remember watching one, and that was a Pokemon Ranger movie where it involved Manaphy, of that one legendary, and Ash. They basically it was being hunted by basically a group of pirates, and they're looking for was basically Atlantis. Yeah, because there's like some valuable jewels or something. I don't know.
The loot.
Yeah. The one thing I remember the most is that Manaphy like gained the trust of all of, like the sea Pokemon, including Kyogre.
Just had a stack of just water Pokemon.
Yeah, including the one that literally created the oceans. Man, this is turning into a Pokemon podcast a lot faster than we anticipated. Then again, we didn't actually anticipate anything, so...
Whatever works. You're just fucking free winging it.
Yeah, man.
Back to my movie. I remember a couple. Like, I remember there was the Reshiram and Zekrom one, which actually had a cool, like, I don't know if they did it for any other movies, but they had a Zekrom version of the movie and a Reshiram version of the movie. And depending on which one you watch, there'd be like subtle, slight details. Yes. Like at the end, Ash would be riding Zekrom instead of Reshiram, and then like one of the person's Pokemon would be shiny, and then in the other one it wouldn't. So I'd have to say that one's my favorite one. Is the
that's cool
Reshiram one.
Actually, no, I do remember one other thing. It was like, is one where like Ash came in like direct contact with Arceus or Arceus or however you pronounce its name, and like Arceus is like going to destroy the world or something, but Ash convinced him not to do it or something. Or someone's like, okay, you got me there.
You're right. Should we skip to the next topic now?
Yeah, I think we've spent long enough talking about old memories involving Pokemon. Okay, so which one do you want to do first? The Get Out of Jail Free card one or the Dying Light 2 one?
Okay, we gotta do the Get Out of Jail Free card one.
Alright, I guess I just watch it off of your stream. Okay. Chisago County, Minnesota. Drivers do not pass go. Do not collect $200 if they try to hand sheriff's deputy a get out of jail free card from Popper Board Game Monopoly, according to authorities here. Man, you know I just remember those like old jokes of like, all right, don't worry, I'm packing exactly what I need. They just pull a get out of jail free card.
This is like the old equivalent. People are probably doing this before like Uno became like super popular now with like the meme of the Uno reverse. Yeah. This is probably what people are pulling out as the get out of jail free card.
Yeah, chance. Alright, scroll down a little.
But you want to read that?
Yeah. A sheriff's office tell a Chisago County driver in Chisago County was pulled over on Friday night. When asked for a driver's license and over along with the ever-famous monthly get out of jail free card. Quote from the event. Unfortunately, St. Minnesota does not recognize this as a valid document. It's just like the sheriff's police said in a post. Points to for the effort and humor, though. Man, that's amazing.
Hey, at least they went with the joke.
Yeah. I mean, chances are he only really got, like the... I guess perpetrator, quote unquote, only actually got like maybe like $150 fine or something like that.
Or he just got fined originally what he did.
Yeah, that's true. All right, the sheriff's office post has been shared roughly 300 times so far. I mean, that's
I think it's been shared way more now, though.
Yeah, probably, but
it's just a dumb information that has to spread.
Yeah, I wonder how long they can have been holding this card. I don't think they are in that color anymore. One reply read, I'd laugh if they had a wallet full of Monopoly money to pay their fines. Oh, that would have been great, dude.
Sir, this is not a valid currency at this moment.
It's like the whole joke of, I left $1 million of Monopoly money, and then you just die or something. Alright. Chisago County Sheriff's Office didn't elaborate on what the driver was stopped for. If they're at risk of being put in jail. One thing is clear However, the get out of jail free card only works in Monopoly. Who knew?
Who knew?
Whoever handles this page at Sheriff's Office deserves a raise. It's pure gold. I don't even live in Chisago County, but I come here for content, one Facebook reply said. Wait until you see this next Saturday's post, smile emoji. The Chisago County Sheriff Office said in one reply. The iconic American board game Monopoly is the brainchild of Charles B. Darrow, who sold the concept to the Parker Brothers in 1935. Oh, no, it's literally just how it to play the like.
This is just lore dump at this point.
Lore
dump.
Need
to read that.
Yeah.
Except Bible. How do you even say that?
Bibliopoly.
Bibliopoly, which is just a biblical version of Monopoly.
Or Bibleopoly. Oh no.
Just imagine like the plots of land are just like
different, like Noah's Ark and like
you can be like Noah's Ark on like the player pieces.
Yeah, like you literally get to play it. One of the pieces literally crucified Christ.
You just have like the burning bush and like that bitten apple.
Yeah. Man, what's your favorite Monopoly memory?
I don't really have any. I would just play for like 30 minutes and then like everyone playing would just get bored.
Yeah. Or
we'd just like cheat and just give ourselves like a bunch of money.
Yeah. I remember I think my favorite is that so I was over at a friend's house. Me, him, and someone else were playing Monopoly, and I introduced him to the house rule of if you land on someone's space but they're not paying attention and you successfully pass the turn, you don't have to pay them. And my God, I got away with with having to make like less to zero payments, and I was like paying so much attention just to make sure I get all the money I could. And one of the players, they got out pretty early, so they played a role called Tax Collector, where they land on one of our spaces. We have to pay them like a set amount. And it probably didn't help that he's also slipping us like hundreds from under the table, but you know.
Take this.
Yeah.
It's charity money.
Yeah. I remember back when I still played Magic the Gathering, I had like a card that was like integral to one of my decks, like on the line. It's like, but it's only if I went out to a very specific space. We never actually ended the game, and me and the other person that was still in just decided to call it a draw.
One of my favorite quotes from this article is the one where it said the Chisago County Sheriff's Office didn't elaborate on what the driver was stopped for and if they were even at risk of being put in jail.
Wait
there wasn't even a chance that he could have gone in jail depending on what he did. And he still pulled out the card.
I mean, chances are it's probably like a speeding ticket or like a seatbelt ticket.
Was he like drunk or high and it's just like, oh, here's my photo ID, and just gives him the card?
I don't know. I think if it was a DUI, it probably wouldn't have been as seen as in good of a light, quote unquote. Because you know
they're humoring it.
Yeah, like the perpetrator, quote unquote, again. He was obviously sober during the incident. Like he knew what he was doing.
Just pulls out an Uno card. Just you're under arrest. No, you're under arrest.
you got me there.
That's right. You should be in the suit, and I shouldn't.
Being roommates with a friend, it's good until you really start to notice their bad habits, and I have a few.
Yeah. That's like you shouldn't. I was told like you should never work with your friends because you're just gonna goof around with your friends.
Yeah, I mean that's already what we kind of do in class sometimes, but whatever. We get our work done either way.
Yeah, but I would say that's like in a way the same setting as work, but
yeah,
at work you're tasked to do certain jobs.
Yeah, and there's no real penalty in school except for maybe having to repeat a grade. And meanwhile, with a job, you can just get straight up fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, have it on your like professional record that this guy goofs around, doesn't take his work seriously, blah blah blah. Which
do I know a sad story?
What?
You actually know the story, but I'm gonna repeat it.
I don't remember.
I was going. You might not. I was going around looking for a job, and I applied for a bunch of jobs. I applied for McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell the story. So I applied for McDonald's, and I went through the application. Like, they're like, okay, we can get a time to meet, and like I went there, we talked for a little bit, and they're like, okay, thank you. And then like a couple days later, they're like, oh yeah, sorry, we aren't looking for your type of employment right now. Yada yada yada. We're sorry. I got rejected from McDonald's.
Yeah. Well, if you got quote unquote recruited to a better joint, right?
Yeah.
A place that doesn't smell like, grease. Well, probably not. No,
grease, half from the workers and the food.
Yeah, 50-50.
Place I'm working at now, I'm probably gonna stay at for as long as possible.
Yeah. I mean, I want to work there once I get my license. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. I'm not going to disclose my age, so I can at least save some face by saying I don't have my license yet.
As of now.
Yeah. I don't know. Once I'm like a legal adult, I'll probably be a lot more comfortable with being more open with my age.
Yeah. That's true. You want to go on to our next topic?
Oh, yeah. So, this is about a Dying Light 2 major update coming in April. Shout out to the people that play that game.
The Dying Lighters.
Yeah.
Whatever they're called.
Might be called the Night Runners if they want to take it to a little bit of new height and mix in some little in-game lore with the player base.
Yeah, true.
Dying Light 2's next major update will arrive on Xbox Series X/S and Xbox One in April, offering new combat changes and more. Techland has also teased game's second DLC, which looks to be taking us to an asylum. For sake of reference, we don't read these articles in advance. So, yeah, I'm going to this 100% blind, and an asylum has got me super intrigued.
Yeah, is it going to be like a mansion asylum?
Could be. I mean, like...
That'd be kind of cool.
Think of, like your average asylum. Those can be pretty big, because that's have, like, enough room to house all the patients, the staff, medications, stuff like that. Anyway,
yeah.
Back to the article. Techland revealed the 2023 roadmap for Dying Light 2 in February, which showed that an update will arrive in April to upgrade the combat mechanics, followed by a June update for parkour improvements. Ooh, I'm excited for that. I really like the parkour in Dying Light 2, but I will say it can be a little bit janky in certain areas, like whether it be trying to grab something or rolling. Like, it's not terrible. In fact, it's not even really that bad, but it could still definitely use a few improvements.
Yeah. I haven't really played the second game much, but I played the first game a bunch with you.
Yeah.
From what I'm seeing from the movement of the second to the first game, it seems like... I'm pretty sure they described it as floaty.
Yeah.
Like, it seems a lot easier to do things, but at the same time, it seems more superhuman than the first game.
Yeah. I mean, that's really, like... I remember when the game was coming out, and they're, like, releasing, like... these episodes called Dying to Know. They're going over, like, different things. And that was, like, one of the things they mentioned, that the parkourists that they actually work with said that the parkour in this game feels superhuman. Furthermore, that they also said that it was floaty, but the reason why they also said that was because that was the reason why the parkour would work. Like, without the added floatiness, it'd be a lot more difficult to, pull off parkour combos and, keep your streak going.
It'd be too realistic.
Yeah, too realistic. I mean, it's a game about zombies and, like, freaking cracked up, like, evil, like, survivors.
Yeah.
Realism kind of went out the window a long time ago. Okay, anyway, parkour improvements, and then finally, the second premium DLC pack later in the year. Techland has now confirmed the April update is still coming and dropped a small tease for the DLC, which looks like I said, we'll be heading for an asylum. Dropping a short trailer during the Future Games Showcase, Techland has confirmed Dying Light 2's next major update will arrive on April 20th. Let's go, 420! It'll introduce significant improvements in combat system to make it even more brutal, physical, and rewarding. I mixed brutal and physical. Good job, me. On On top of that, a transmog system that will be introduced that you can style Aiden in whatever garments you like without sacrificing stats need for your playstyle.
So it's like Terraria Vanity.
That's cool. Like, you can mesh multiple, like, outfits together. That'd be cool.
Wait, is that what it's saying?
Oh, no. Like, you can already have, like, outfits, like, that already work as Vanity.
Oh.
But I think maybe it means, like, I feel like there's, like, a certain, like, armor, like, set that you like the look of that's just, like, not an outfit. Maybe you could have, like, your entire set look like that one outfit just so it matches.
Like themed cosplays and stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, while a bit brief, the new trailer also gives us our first look at the currently unnamed second expansion for Dying Light 2, coming later this year. You see a couple pieces of concept art, but looks like the story will take us to Asylum at some point. Naturally, no other information forgiven, but it doesn't stop us from being excited nonetheless. What do you think about the upcoming update? Let us know. Changes you'd like to see implemented. Yada yada. Let us know, Pilgrim.
Plug.
Yeah, like
that's interesting.
Yeah, like, and it's an asylum. That actually makes me like very clear. It's like, I mean, it's probably not gonna be anything like Verrucht from Black Ops or COD Zombies, not even just Black Ops Zombies. But
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably gonna be huge. Like I said. And like, you're probably gonna be introduced like to some crazy characters. It is an asylum, and even like maybe even some like new variants of Special Infected, or even like maybe some straight up new ones.
Would be kind of funny is if you go into the asylum and then you meet like the most like sane person out of the whole entire game.
I imagine like
he's just the most like kindest, like polite person.
Yeah, I imagine like there'd definitely be like some like sane, quote, like sane enough people in this same like workers, something like that. They'll like, you know, probably like try to guide you through. Like, I imagine like all the DLCs will be very different because with like Bloody Ties, it was like an arena thing where like there's like different missions and they have like a select loadout that you're forced to choose. Like we'll kind of test your like abilities to use like weapons and equipment in different combinations. You also get like tokens and stuff like that. So I imagine this might be more of like a kind of a house, like a room clear kind of thing, where you get like keys and you have to like clear different parts of the asylum.
Kind of like the first, what was it, the last DLC of the first game where you're like in a dungeon?
Well, yeah, shoot. I forget what it's called.
What was it called?
I really like it, though.
Real quick.
Hellraid. Yeah, that's it, Hellraid.
Hellraid, yeah.
Yeah, it might be something like that, but I don't know. Like, there's just about, there's a lot of possibilities that you could do with an asylum.
Especially with like a zombies game, it could take the most like wildest turns possible.
Yeah.
They could add like building, like you could build your own like weapons piece by piece, or like it could go to cars somehow.
Yeah. I mean, Dying Light 1 went to cars after, in the following. That's actually something I really kind of wanted to see from Dying Light 2, which I don't think we will see, but I'm not really that beaten up on it, or that downtrodden, should I say. Where
vehicle mobility?
Nah, the ability to craft your own weapons.
Oh.
Like, they're really common. In fact, in Dying Light 2, I already have, like, my entire stash and inventory filled with, like, artifact and legendary weapons, so I'm set for a while.
Yeah. What would be cool about the asylum is, I was just thinking about like, imagine the top part like is just a normal, like, not too big, but then all the stuff is underground. Like how, like it's just like a secret, like hidden area completely.
Something I kind of thought would be cool is like you were saying earlier, like what if it like is like as big as a mansion, like multiple stories, and like as like parts like broken off, so you have to do like parkour to get between like multiple segments of like in like the higher levels.
That would be perfect with the parkour too.
Yeah. Like, one thing I will say that Dying Light 2 has over the first game is the parkour. Parkour in Dying Light 2 is so satisfying. Mostly because it gives you the feeling, like, at least in my opinion, because it gives you the feeling of going fast. I love that in games, that if you're going fast, then, like, it really feels like you're
going fast. Everything is perfect.
Yeah, it really feels like you're moving. Like, Dying Light 1, like, the parkour was alright, which I'm not going to hold it against it for being, like, basic, because it was the first game, and it was testing out a brand new system. And, you know...
Was Techland, like... Was that Techland's first game?
I don't think so. They helped work on Dead Island.
Oh, yeah, that game.
Which has a sequel that apparently is coming out sometime within the next couple of years after... having, let's see, checking my non-existent watch.
Didn't they have, like, years that they said for multiple years that it was going to be, like, released and never did?
Yeah, like, 2019, I think, it says it's going to release, never did. Like, I think even, like, 2018, it says it's going to be released, never did. It's basically accepted that they are stuck in the middle of development hell. And they've been picking up in, like, Deep Silver, the people that are making it, are also picking up and dropping, like, different, like, assistance developer studios, like left and right. There's, like, Jaeger a while back. I think another Japanese company. Yeah. Like, I remember seeing an article, like, I guess everyone really knows that it's played Dying Light 2, that it didn't really release in the best state, quote-unquote. Like, there's problems... And I guess the best way I could put it is controversial. And I remember seeing an article saying that, you know, Dead Island 2 should make its announcement that's coming out soon because, you know, it could outclass Dying Light 2 and to kind of get back at Techland for Dead Island being outclassed by the original Dying Light. It's like, I mean, I guess, but I don't know. Like,
you can go.
I think there's gonna be, like, a certain point where, like, from, like, the little bit of gameplay that was released for Dead Island 2 that was, like, still, like, very, very much in beta, they're gonna be, those two games are gonna be so different that you can't really compare either of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, what were we gonna say?
I was just gonna say it'd kind of be like poetic justice in a way of Dying Light knocking off the first game, and then if this one fumbled, then, like, Dead Island 2 would knock off Dying Light 2.
Yeah.
Like, get their karma.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, the first Dead Island was a hit too. It just so happened that Dying Light 2, or not Dying Light 2, Dying Light 1 hit off with such a massive storm, I guess. Like, for sake of reference, it outsold Grand Theft Auto 5 for the month. And it was the highest selling game of the month it was released.
So, like, that game when it first came out was just the shit.
Yeah, precisely. And the best part is that it only ever got better. Like, nothing was really ever nerfed. Like, the thing, as much as I can remember, like a ton of things were added, like legend levels and the following and Hell Raid and Bozak Horde, like, and stuff like that to, you know, challenge you. Or just give you a brand new experience with, like, a, you know, different world, different tools. You know, allows you to use your skills in a very different way.
Yeah. For people that don't know, the Bozak Horde and all of what Gavin was just talking about was, like, map expansions and just, like, new story. Yeah.
Bozak Horde is, like, kind of like an arena style thing where there's, like, multiple rounds, but you have to complete certain tasks. If you don't, you die, but you have, like, 3 lives. And it's also housed to a kind of infamous glitch. Well, not even infamous. Well, I guess it'd be infamous anyway, where if you get to a certain stage and you kill yourself like all 3 times, you can get, like, basically things that allow you to get gold weapons. And this was discovered, like, upwards of, I'd say, like, 5 years ago, and the developers haven't patched it. Because I think that they know that it doesn't really matter. Like, what's this? A way to get easy good weapons? We don't care.
Yeah, or the game was just through its cycle, and they're just like,
no,
we can let them have fun.
This was before Hellraid was introduced.
Oh,
yeah.
Never mind then.
Yeah, like I was saying, like the developers definitely knew it was there because like there's videos made about it, and you know, I guess it's good on them because they like you can only actually get 3 weapons at a time, so it probably like take like a good hour of grinding, like to get like a good stash, like I guess in the reserves. And that's kind of like what I like about developers like Techland. You know, they understand players like I feel like a lot more than other developers, like especially like COD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where, you know, and where they understand like, you know, people that are using like this exploit are already like super high leveled, or you know, I guess there is like weapon scaling, so you know, or like maybe even low levels. So those gold weapons are like they're gonna be good, but they're not gonna be like top tier or anything.
There's like better methods that are true ways to get them.
Yeah, and they know also that getting gold weapons otherwise is basically impossible. Like you have to do like Night Hunter, play on Night Hunter raids, play on Nightmare mode, and like open up chests and hope you get lucky. And they just, like I said, they just left it in, which I generally have to applaud for it.
Yeah, it's always nice when the companies like are actually pro, like the people playing their game, not just like pro.
They listen,
invest money,
like
suck money out of them.
Yeah, I mean it's been like that for Dying Light 2 also. Like they added a camera mode, like or whatever it's called, because due to popular demand.
Like a free cam?
Yeah, free cam. To get, like, you know, shots of the city.
Mm-hmm. It's always nice when they allow, like, the... Because with most communities, they have, like, a community inside of the game where it's, like, they're, like, taking, like, aesthetic, like, screenshots and, like, just nice pictures of the world. And whenever they have those extra tools, it's really useful.
And even better... I don't know if this is out already or if it's coming out, but they've also added are planning to add workshop tools to the game, so you can make your own environments too.
Oh, like the original one?
Yep, exactly like the original.
I think that from when I was looking at the original Steam Workshop stuff for the first game, there wasn't like that much. It was all like unfinished stuff.
Yeah.
I think with the second game, since it's more popular and everything, and it's like more modern.
Well, I think
there'll be more everything.
Yeah.
Like movement wise and all that.
Yeah, more movement wise. You can make like custom parkour courses. You could like, you could do a lot. And if they had like a car of some sort, which I don't really know how that'd be possible because the second game takes place like 15 or 20 years after the original game. So, you know, fat chance of finding a working car in the apocalypse. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, like someone could make a Mario Kart track if they had a car, like they did in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Dying Light 2 still has a lot of potential. Like even though like the game's like
out.
Yeah, the game's like out. You know, like they're still adding like stuff. And they did say that this game was going to get a full 5 years, and we just got done with year 1.
Wow.
Man,
is that like each year there's going to be like a giant wave of content, or is it like a slow-paced content release?
I think it's probably going to be a bit slower because year 1 was pretty slow. Like they gave us not operators, but like not contractors either, but. You know, there's like NPCs they can do like quests, like specific bounties for, and like you can get like certain rewards based off of like the bounties you do, and like gain reputation, increase your rank in like the certain NPCs like areas of expertise. Like the two are out now is like one's like a hunter that hunts infected, the other's a former night runner.
So you're kind of saying like factions from Destiny.
Yeah, kind of, but you don't have to like designate yourself to a faction. You could just kind of play. You can just kind of do whatever you want. Let's see. They had Bloody Ties, which was cool. I liked Bloody Ties. I thought the arena style game was pretty creative because it makes sense. Like, entertainment in the apocalypse would just be having people fight each other or infected.
Yeah. There was like a part like that in the end. Spoilers for Dying Light 1 if people still are playing it. At near the end, there was like that one part where you're running through and there's like the guy has cages of zombies that you have to fight.
Oh yeah, I remember that. There's also that one mission where this is pretty earlier. This is, well, it's roughly halfway, so I guess this would also kind of be counted as spoilers. Where the mission where you're in the pit and you have to fight your way out with like no weapons and stuff you find around the pit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like that mission.
And that one's kind of cool. It like strips you out of like all your resources and makes you like kind of not really like the whole rest of the game, but like in a way make you restart.
Yeah, I mean,
make you feel like defensive.
Yeah, it makes you feel powerless in that one moment, which I think is good for a game like that because it makes you use those skills that you've gained over time, and like really makes you use your head and like have like good strategy. Because like my one complaint about Dying Light 1 is that once you get like I have a shotgun that does like almost 10,000 damage. That just one shots everything. Just like any big boss like a Demolisher or even a Volatile comes after you, just bam, they're dead. Meanwhile in Dying Light 2 there's nothing really like that, so you actually have to use your head. You have to use resources that you have to use the limited ammo you would get with like bows and whatnot. Yeah, and like the one gun there is a boomstick, which only really increases in power if you're doing a ranger build, which if you are, it's not that good.
Yeah, it's like one of the only ranged. Well, it's from what I saw, it's the crossbow and like the shotgun.
Yeah, crossbow and the boomstick. Yeah.
Like the only ranged weapons in Dying Light 2.
Yeah, I mean, there's also like bows, like normal bows, and like grenades and like molotovs if you count throwing as like proper ranged.
Like mostly primitive stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was described as the modern Dark Ages because humanity has fallen and they are basically back in the Dark Ages.
Yeah, they're like a whole economy reset.
Yeah. Like food is like it's not a
scarcity.
Food's not a guarantee. Water's not a guarantee. Even being out even like remotely close to dark could get you killed if you're not close to a safe zone. Yeah,
nighttime. I don't know about the second game, but the first game, nighttime is very brutal in the first game.
Yeah, nighttime's pretty brutal in Dying Light 2. Especially like when you're lower leveled and like you accidentally get into a chase and your stamina is not exactly all that high, or maybe you're not exactly experienced in parkour as someone else, and you just the pursuit level just keeps on going up and up, and you have to start dealing with volatiles, which will kick your ass.
Yeah, and they catch up to you very easily.
Yeah, and then not to mention they can insta kill you if you're not paying attention.
How do they do that?
They pounce you, and you can't kick them off fast enough because maybe you're going through your inventory. Like, what happens to me is that I go through my inventory, like trying to pull out my UV light, and I start button mashing just a little bit too late, and then I die. Well, I think that's enough for Dying Light talk.
No more dying of the light right now.
Yeah, we've been talking about for what, like a good 15-20 minutes.
I'd say almost 25-30.
Damn.
Hey, time flies by when you're talking about good games.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of good games, at least in my opinion, Final Fantasy 16 is coming out.
Yeah.
It's coming out soon. Yeah. But the bad news is soon only for PlayStation 5. And then, John, what sucks is we have to wait like PC players, I don't know about Xbox, PC players have to wait until December 31st of 2023.
Yep, New Year's Eve. I remember you told me that in the pre whatever to this.
Pre-recording.
Yeah. Well,
Never seen
I guess pre-chat.
Hey, yo, pre-chat.
Yo, chat. Anyway, continue.
But what pisses me off is my birthday is just 2 days before June, and it would have been great, like after my birthday, take a couple days off from work, just chill and play video games all day.
Mm-hmm.
Play one of my favorite RPG franchises. But nope, I gotta wait 6 more months because I don't own a PS5.
Yeah, like
the dumb thing about it. Sorry.
It's alright. Keep going. I'll say what I'm gonna say later.
The dumb thing about it is though, this game compared to the 15th game, which a lot of people don't like, and like seems like there's too much realism to it. Like you gotta sit in your car and like drive everywhere. The one with this one is the game. So if you know much about like the Devil May Cry series, the fighting combat is, I won't say exact, but it's very similar to the fighting combat of the Devil May Cry series, and especially the 5th game.
Yeah, because like wasn't like the lead combat designer for the DMC series brought in for Final Fantasy 16?
Mm-hmm. So that's probably a major reason why is the same guy that made the fighting in the 5th, or in Devil May Cry 5 made it in 16th.
I mean, I think it's been the same guy since the beginning.
For Devil May Cry?
Yeah. 20 years ago, roughly. 22, I think.
It's commitment.
I mean, people love the series. I mean, it's a shame that compared to like Resident Evil, Capcom's been like leaving the Devil May Cry series in the dirt. Meanwhile, we just got another Resident Evil remake with 4.
Mm-hmm. And then isn't Sega also Street Fighter? Or is it Tekken?
Capcom is Street Fighter. Oh yeah, Street Fighter 6 is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the exclusivity thing. Like, the only reason why like it probably does exist is so like people that want to experience something early, or just early or just at all, would buy the console. I mean, like, think about it. Back during the Xbox 360 days for like Black Ops 2, like people like flocked to the 360 because like Activision was giving Xbox players like special treatment, and then during like, and ever since then with their COD games, like maybe after Modern Warfare 3, like I don't know what that would be their earliest example. Like it's always been just like PlayStation
for like getting the DLC first and all that.
Yeah, DLC first. Like I guess say their like most infamous example was for Chronicles, Zombies Chronicles for Black Ops 3, that it was rumored that they would get Mob of the Dead, and they would only get Mob of the Dead 2. Like us Xbox, well, not us Xbox players, but Xbox players and PC players would never get Mob of the Dead with Chronicles.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
Yeah. Like, fortunately, for all sides of the equation, except for maybe PlayStation players, it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if they did that, then, like, I don't think they ever mentioned anything about, like, releasing it in the future on other consoles. Like, it would have just been exclusive to PlayStation.
Yep. Yeah. And meanwhile, Steam Workshop, someone's already made a Mob of the Dead Remastered. I played it. It went pretty well, although it did crash on me when I got back from the bridge. Anyway, back to Final Fantasy. Gotta love tangents. Anyway.
Yep. Tangents always lead off in weird ways.
In terms of, I played Final Fantasy 15. Like, I liked it, but it felt like the combat was way too basic. Like, I'd say it was like a diet Devil May Cry, but even that would be kind of like an insult. Or
yeah, you piss off some people with that.
Or not an insult. Like, that'd be praise, because for me, it's like literally just hold down one button, use this specific weapon, and just hope I win.
Yeah.
Like, use a few magic spells if needed, and that was it. And, like, I never really got attached to any of the characters. Like, Pronto, I thought he was annoying. He's like the only one I really remember by name.
Yeah. There was... I'm drawing a blank on the main character. I know. Ignis, Gladius... Gladios.
Gladio. Noctis.
Gladio, yeah. Yeah, Noctis.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were okay.
Yeah.
I didn't play through it, like, fully. I think I got halfway through the game.
Yeah. Well, rule number 1 of being a Final Fantasy game, you have to have a plot that makes no sense.
Yeah, I watched you play the ending, and I was so confused on how it even got there.
Yeah. Something about time travel and, or stasis or something like that. Yeah.
All the whack stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, I remember I was gonna say I have a few points for this, but yeah, I guess I'm just on to my last point now. Yeah, the guy that made Devil May Cry, the combat for that series is doing this game. The combat's gonna be dope as hell. Like I remember when we were watching the Game Awards like a while back, and like it showed the trailer for this game. I was just freaking out because I saw like the main character tell, I was like, dude, what's that Trickster style? And I saw him like there's like a multitude of cuts in a specific area. I was like, dude, what's that Judgment cut end? And I was just freaking the hell out.
Like it just looked like they copy and pasted the like fighting patterns into the game.
Dude, I wouldn't doubt it if they put like the Yamato or like Devil Sword Dante in there just as like a tribute to
the designer.
Yeah, to the combat designer. Even as like skins, like for weapons or like Dante and Virgil's outfits.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
Another thing about the 16th game is it is the first Final Fantasy game that is rated M.
Yeah.
So most of the other ones you'd think like, okay, they'd have to be like they weren't definitely like PG or PG-10. Most of them are rated at like they're rated all at about teen.
Yeah.
Or like PG-10.
Yeah. Like I think it's gonna be good for them to kind of finally break free of the limitations that the teen rating will get, and like that they're actually trying for a mature game. Could allow them for a lot more freedom and like scenes, combat things, like allow them to be a lot more, I guess, loose with their language. Like characters can like curse more. They can say words like "fuck."
They could do that. One of my favorite things about it, though, and I think they're leaning towards like the M. I don't think they're going to be swearing a lot. I think it's just going to be a lot of blood and gore.
Yeah.
Because in the trailer, I think the one that we were watching, like one of the characters gets like stabbed or something, or like just a side character gets stabbed, and then you just see like a shot of the main character just like getting blood all over their face.
Damn. Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then that's when they go like sicko mode.
Imagine it just goes.
Turn into Phoenix.
Yeah, imagine it just goes full Doom, and you just see the character ripping off heads and like entrails going everywhere.
It plays the original Doom, just the do 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 do.
Nah, man. When the it's gonna be one of those memes where it's like when the Doom music kicks in, just the only thing they fear is you, while the protagonist just starts massacring everyone in a half-mile radius.
It sucks that we have to wait an extra 6 months. So.
Yeah, like this is like the first game I'm actually the Final Fantasy series I'm actually like directly interested in. Like, yeah. I guess I was kind of interested in 7, like a while back before like any remakes were announced, but man, it's split up into like 3 parts, and like the first part of it is literally just like the beginning of the normal game.
Yeah, the remakes.
Yeah. I
think they're doing 2 parts.
They're both.
But then there's like a bunch of branching off, like side stories attached to the 7th game.
Yeah. Not to mention they're also like both $70.
Yeah.
Well,
the two on Steam right now is the remake Intergrade, which is the Final Fantasy VII remake plus the DLC.
Okay. Well,
and then
that makes more sense. Like, you know, if you're gonna jack up the price, might as well have some DLC included.
Yeah, and then the one after that is like it's called, I don't know the exact name, but it's Final Fantasy VII and it involves the Crisis Core,
just...
which is a side story about one of the other main characters who was also a soldier.
Yeah. Is it literally called Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core?
Well, there's a it's a remake of an old game. I think it was for like PlayStation 2 or PS3 and Xbox 360. But it just involves like another character that's like Cloud.
Yeah. Like I remember seeing like certain stuff about like a lot of like the Final Fantasy like lore, and I remember I could probably totally be getting this wrong. And if I am, I mean whatever. But I remember
just cut it out.
Yeah, no, don't cut it out. It's fine. Like people can be wrong.
Silence.
It's okay. You know.
Nope. Only correct people are allowed.
Oh no. Anyway, I remember hearing something that like the 8th and 7th game are connected in terms of like very specific things. Like I don't think Cloud's the protagonist in 8, but he like shows up in 8 and like he's a semi-vital character. Yeah. And I think, is it a prequel to 7? No, I don't think it is. Because it mentions like Cloud's best friend, you know, like he knows Buster Sword, right? And his very iconic weapon. Mm-hmm. He gets it from a friend that ends up dying.
Yeah, that's the guy I was talking about in the Crisis Core.
Yeah.
I think his name is Zach.
Yeah. Zach and Cloud.
Yep.
Best friends for life. Until someone dies. Rest in pieces. Down for the count.
He bled out.
Goddamn. Yeah. It feels like I'm talking a lot more than you. Like, I can just feel it.
Most definitely. Oh well.
I mean, I guess I just have a lot to talk about.
That is true. I'll probably get better at it over time, too.
Yeah. Maybe I could, maybe ask you a few more questions about a few things. Like, that's usually how it goes, like, in a conversation where, like, if you want, like, to try to get to know someone better, and maybe you just don't really know what to talk about, you just have to get, just something started, and, like, if they talk about something, you just have to start asking more and more questions to, I guess, kind of fill the void.
Get more information about them.
Yeah, fill the void to get more information about them.
Like, build character.
Yeah. See who they are.
Throw some questions at me, and then I think we could call it.
Alright. Does that have to be about Final Fantasy or any of our other topics, or it could just be, free reign?
This is a hard one. Free reign. Video game related.
Alright. What game do you think, like, deserves a remake?
Fuck. I got one.
Alright.
So, me and Jacob, you guys don't know Jacob. He might be on the podcast in the future, though.
Yeah. He's not anyone.
There's a little hint.
He's not anyone famous, but he's a good friend of ours.
Well, we're not famous either, but
yeah, we're just kids. Or are we?
Wait a minute.
Alright. Anyway. Anyway, keep going.
The game that I think deserves a remake, or at least I'd say adds to the story, Call of Duty Ghosts.
Dude. I mean, hell. Like, the next, like, Sledgehammer game might be Ghost 2. Like, it just kind of depends.
I really want it to be Ghost 2, and Jacob does too.
Yeah. Like...
Because the end of that campaign ended on a cliffhanger, and then they never released the second game. And that game came out in, like, 2013.
Yeah.
That's literally 10 years ago.
Yep, 10 years. It was released...
Oh my god.
It was one of the first COD games to be, like, have, like, the kind of split release where it's, like, on last gen and current gen, back when Xbox One, PS4 was current gen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then what sucked is, on the Xbox One, you could still play the 360 edition of the game.
Yeah. Like, I mean, same thing for Black Ops 3. I'm pretty sure anyone in the gaming scene that knows anything about Call of Duty Zombies knows the infamous picture of last-gen Richtofen.
Yeah, the company themselves made like a jump scare
and
Easter egg joke about
Black Ops 4 Classified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like literally an inside joke with like the entire community and the developers.
Yeah.
I think, like, I wouldn't say like a a remake of Ghost, but definitely a sequel.
I just want to know official, like, company made, like, how that story goes or like ends properly.
Lore.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't be the first thing that was left on a cliffhanger in like the Zombies game, or not Zombies game, a COD game, because let's see, there's Infinite Warfare Zombies. Actually, no, not Infinite Warfare. Advanced Warfare Zombies. That was left on a cliffhanger. World War II Zombies is left on a cliffhanger. Ghost campaign is left on a cliffhanger. And I guess if you want to count it, the Advanced Warfare campaign that ends on a cliffhanger. And I guess if you really want to be technical right now, the Modern Warfare 2 2022 campaign that has been left on a cliffhanger.
I can't say anything about it because I don't know anything about most of it.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that's important is spoilers, I guess, if you really care about the whole COD thing. Makarov's back. And no Russian has happened. Just not exactly in the way that, we would think.
Oh, yeah, didn't they recreate it in... Was it in Modern Warfare 2?
No. So basically how No Russian went down is that it was a post-credits cutscene where it's a guy in a plane, he gets like a dish or something, and he starts putting together a gun made of like plastic or like some polyameric material that won't be set by metal detectors. And like on this, and like an old phone, he says like, he gets like a text saying like, "Are you ready?" It says yes, and then he gets another response saying "No Russian," and he puts the phone in like a drink he has, so it shorts out, and like him and a few other guys like pull out their guns and they start like go on the prowl, doing the whole No Russian thing. I don't think they're ever gonna make a new No Russian mission.
Well, actually, I'm pretty sure they did in the remake of that game.
Well, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. But...
Yeah.
I mean...
But definitely nowadays, I don't think they'd be able to.
Yeah, they couldn't. Like, especially because, like... It's very unfortunate that attacks of... Like, terror attacks, especially, like, here in the West, and even, like, a lot of places in the East, like... Especially, like, obviously in terrorist-controlled... like places like Afghanistan are so common. It's just that it probably won't be received very well. Like, but I guess just more by the general public, because like people that play games like will be fine with it because we know at the end of the day it's just a game. But it's like the original No Russian controversy where it was being blamed for like terror attacks because it was literally a mission where you shoot civilians in an airport.
Yeah.
In fact,
nowadays though, it would be kind of the problem with like gun violence and all that.
Yeah, especially here in the States.
It would spark up like articles complaining and like news complaining about how it's going to cause violence.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it was like that for the original Modern Warfare 2.
Seems like it's more prevalent now, though.
Yeah. I mean, there's also...
People are more sensitive about it.
Yeah. There's also, like, I remember seeing an article back when COD World War II... was released. Back when COD World War II was released, there's an article that's released saying that, basically accusing the Activision devs of glorifying war and making it seem like a fun thing. Like, these are, like, very real things, and... I know I watched something, I won't exactly say what, that like involved an AI generated like article of the exact thing I'm like describing, but I will say that 100% it is a very real article. You can probably look it up right now, like COD series glorifying war. You could probably find a few news articles about it.
Yeah. Do you know what time I think it is?
Wrap up time?
I think it's wrap up time.
Alright. Well,
you want to do the outro?
Yeah, sure, I'll do the outro. Well, that was it for the day, or I guess in our case, the night. for episode 1 of the Extra Casual podcast. This was Gavin.
And Ashton.
And we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.